And we're going to start off with amended House Bill 8 and for its 7th hearing. We don't have any testimony. Chair recognizes Vice Chair O'Brien for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I motion to amend with Amendment 3388-1.
The amendment is in order. Will you please explain the amendment?
It specifies that a student who is excused from instruction that includes sexuality content is permitted to participate in an alternative assignment.
All right. Are there any objections to this amendment?
If I may, Mr. Chair, I'd just like some clarity as to what it actually means, because they are already allowed to opt out, so I'm just not sure what the intent is here.
The intent is that they will be able to participate in an alternative assignment so that they're doing something during the school day at the school.
But they already do that, so I'm just asking.
This is just clarifying that. Is that okay? Are there any objections to that amendment becoming part of the bill? Seeing none, the amendment becomes part of the bill. Chair recognizes Vice Chair O'Brien for a motion.
I motion to amend with AM 3396.
The amendment is in order. Will you please explain the amendment?
This amendment removes the definition of core curriculum from the bill. It also removes the requirement that the policy adopted by a school governing RTRI permit reasonable access to the instruction, and instead mandates that the school board will collaborate with a sponsor entity to identify a time to offer the instruction.
I will go ahead and make a discussion on this. This is the one where we had initially the definition of core curriculums were in there, and there was concern about music, art, and phys ed, so we removed that and instead tried to work with the various entities to come up with this alternative language, which we have done, and this would be replacing it. So are there any objections to this amendment?
If I may.
Yes, Ranking
I
Member.
just want to be clear, because I listened to a whole bunch of my amendments from last week declared redundant. I'm just trying to be clear as to what this is actually getting to.
Again, this is replacing the definition of the core curriculum stuff that we put in last week and replacing it with a new language that basically says that the local school district, a school district board of education shall collaborate with a sponsoring entity of a release time course in religious instruction to identify a time to offer the course during the school day. It allows flexibility for the local district, but it does say that they need to find a time that will work out that's in the best interest of the students in the school as well as those that are doing religious release time. Are there any objections to the amendment? Seeing none, the amendment becomes part of the bill. Chair recognizes Vice Chair O'Brien for a motion.
I motion to amend with Amendment 3515.
The amendment is ordered. Will you please explain the amendment?
This amendment permits a school district's Board of Education to include in its released time religious instruction policy a requirement for criminal records checks of any instructor and volunteer providing the religious education. The school district will determine the manner in which the criminal records check is conducted.
I know there was a lot of requests for this one. Are there any objections to this amendment becoming part of the bill? Seeing none, the amendment becomes part of the bill. Chair recognizing Ranking Member Ingram for a motion.
This is Amendment 3313.
The amendment is in order. Would you please explain the amendment?
This amendment is for collection of data, that it requires the sponsoring entity to collect the data from the parents and the intent. The public school personnel only may distribute neutral information forms to parents, written consent. They're not actually allowed to do that and put it in the children's cubby, which is against the law anyway. And so therefore, all that does is change that school personnel will not endorse or encourage, et cetera, et cetera.
All right. I believe this is redundant with what's already currently in law underneath that section of the code. I recognize Vice Chair O'Brien for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to table the amendment.
Motion has been made. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Chair Berner.
Yes.
Vice Chair O'Brien.
Yes.
Ranking Member Ingram.
No.
Senator Blessing.
Yes.
I'm going to need the rest of those amendments. Where is Deja?
No.
All right, the motion has been tabled. Chair recognizes Vice Chair O'Brien for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to favorably report the substitute House Bill 8 to the Committee on Rules and Reference.
The motion has been made. Will the clerk please call the roll? Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The bill has been hereby passed. I grant LSC authorization to harmonize the amendment into the sub-bill. This will conclude the 7th hearing on amended House Bill number 8.